Yes. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for me. So, Oleksandr, the Duck Usyk, just did a press conference with kickboxing legend, former Glory heavyweight champion, Glory being one of the main kickboxing promotions in the world, met for a face-off for their fight in Egypt. They're going to be fighting in front of the pyramids. Isn't it great, guys? They're going to treat us to a fight in front of the pyramids. I'm assuming this is going to be on pay-per-view. I will not be paying. I will not be watching. I'll check the highlights out and give you all my reaction. I'm letting you know that up front. I am deliberately boycotting this fight because let's talk about it from a boxing sense, and then I might go on a rant about just how this embodies the zeitgeist of this age, the mentality of the elites of this day and age that we live in. So I'll talk about it from a boxing perspective. Oleksandr Usyk, to his credit, has had an immaculate career. In my opinion, he's the greatest cruiserweight of all time. He went to all the other reigning champions' backyards: Glowacki, Hook, Gassiev, and Tony Bellew. Some of the best in the world, Bradis, right? These guys are all elite fighters, quality fighters, great champions in their own right. And he beat them all, right? His last fight at cruiserweight was awesome. That's one of the best knockouts I've ever seen from a guy who's not known to be a knockout artist. You know, we saw a spectacular knockout of Tony Bellew by Usyk. I believe it was in Liverpool, or was it Manchester? I'm not sure. You guys let me know. One of them cities in the UK, which I love. Shout out to the UK. Best boxing fans in the world right now, period. But we saw Usyk have a great night, great reign at cruiserweight. Then he came up to heavyweight. He took one tune-up against Chaz Witherspoon and went straight into the deep end. He fought, in my opinion, the last of halfway decent Derek Chisora. I believe that was in 2021 or 2020. I can't remember. So about 5-6 years ago. So Derek Chisora, when he still had a few beans left in the tank. Then he went straight for AJ, beat him twice. And to Joshua's credit, which is going to feed into another point I'll make in a second, Joshua faced his mandatories. Joshua was an honorable champion. He wasn't perfect. I'm not saying the man's shit doesn't stink. I don't know him personally. But his reign as champion was honorable when you compare it to Fury, to Wilder, and now to Usyk. AJ fought his mandatories, and he had some tough mandatories and tough unification fights. Klitschko, right? You can't say Klitschko was old and then tell me that 40-year-old Usyk, 40-year-old Gilles Jean, dang near 40-year-old Tyson Fury are all contenders. You can't then turn around and say Vlad was old when we know that Vlad was someone who took great care of himself. He still looks fit now at dang near 50. He looks fitter than most of these heavyweights who are in their 30s, But AJ fought all the tough competition. Vlad, Povetkin, unified against Joseph Parker, fought Andy Ruiz, was going to fight Big Baby Miller, again, when he was on all the juice, right? So AJ conducted himself with a certain level of class. He wasn't perfect, I'm not saying that, but he did face all his mandatories, and he did seek to unify against the best. We all know that Wilder and Fury ducked AJ and have been playing games for over a decade. So that's not a conversation I want to have in this video. But getting back to the point, Usyk beat AJ twice and then went around chasing Tyson Fury. And it wasn't until Tyson Fury was offered a king's ransom by the Saudis, that he decided to take the fight, and Fury beat him. The first fight was, Usyk beat Fury, right? The first fight was fantastic. It was a heavyweight classic, that perfect mixture of kind of a chess match versus a battle of wills. And I thought Usyk won the chess match, and he showed a greater will, a greater determination. He had more dog in him than Tyson Fury. The rematch, that was ass. That was some hot ass. I don't care what anyone says. That both of them fought like hot ass. They were both scary and just wanted to have a look. And there was that unwritten agreement that we're not going to go as hard as we did in the first fight. And yeah, that fight was some hot ass. I never need to see that again. But the point is, in this long kind of opening, is that Oleksandr Usyk has so far been a model champion. He's fought mandatories, right? He gave Dubois, forgot to mention him, beat Daniel Dubois twice, tried to unify with him, and beat him when he was his mandatory challenger, stopped him twice. However, he's been on some bullshit lately, and that's just the truth. Oleksandr Usyk is actively ducking several contenders, most importantly of whom is Ajit Kabayel, the most deserving heavyweight contender right now. But he also dropped the belt to duck Fabio Wardley. He also didn't seem too keen on fighting Joseph Parker when Parker had the WBO interim strap, which he lost to Wardley, who was then upgraded to a full champion because, again, Usyk didn't want to fight him. Usyk isn't even mentioning Kabayel's name, the most prolific body puncher I've seen in a very long time. And there's not too many heavyweights that I've seen who consistently has hacked the body as much as he has and have as much success as he's had attacking guys to the body, which if you never boxed before, your best bet is to try and stop someone to the body. Trying to knock somebody out is way more difficult than I think the average man realizes. And you see that with Kabayel. That's a level of intelligence, right? He doesn't have the best physical attributes in the world. He's never going to pass the look test. He's not the guy who's getting picked first for pickup basketball. He's not the guy that's going to make the varsity football team. But he's just a workhorse, and he's going to keep grinding, and he's tough. He's got dog in him. He's got great conditioning, and he can mix it up with these guys. And, of course, we have the precocious talent. That's the phrase everyone keeps using, which is an accurate description of Moses Atalma. He's a fantastic fighter. He has the speed, the quickness, the power, the IQ, the confidence, right? That quiet swagger, that almost dour kind of Eastern European demeanor and how he carries himself. He's got it all. He's a eugenicist dream, if you will, in terms of sports. I don't know if I can say that here on YouTube. We'll see if I get canceled or not. Probably not, because my channel isn't big enough, so I'll say it, whatever. But he has all the attributes you would want in a fighter, right? He's big and strong enough to bang with giants, but small and nimble enough to be able to compete with cruiserweights. I mean, I think he would stop anyone at cruiserweight, light heavyweight. He have no problem matching them in terms of speed. And we all know that speed is power, right? His speed is what is winning him these fights. So the point is that there's a lot of competition right now in the heavyweight division, and Oleksandr Usyk is doing everything in his power to avoid it. And this is not how it should be done. And nothing pisses me off more than when I see these sycophantic, boot-licking ball washers in the comment sections, on podcasts, on platforms like TalkSport, who say, well, Oleksandr Usyk can do whatever he wants now. He's in the twilight of his career. He hasn't made any money. The fuck? What do you mean he hasn't made any money? He's been earning multi-million-dollar purses since he was a cruiserweight, right? The World Super Series of Boxing that took place in the cruiserweight division was offering big purses for the champions. He made millions in his first fight against AJ, made even more in the rematch, right? Made God knows how much money in the 2 fights against Tyson Fury, and I'm sure got a decent bag to fight Dubois twice. The idea that this guy hasn't made any money is just utterly asinine, right? He has enough money to last him several lifetimes. His great grandkids should be fine. They should never have to worry about getting a job a day in their lives. That they should be nepo babies, unless one of his kids is a total moron and tricks off all the fortune. The guy is set for life. So this idea that somehow he needs one final payday before he retires is just crazy and greedy. And the idea that he doesn't have to fulfill his mandatories and he can fight whomever he chooses, even though he's a reigning champion, is absolutely what embodies everything that's wrong with this sport that I love. This man is a champion. Your job as champion is not to pick and choose who you want to fight. We've heard this with Canelo. We heard it with Tyson Fury when he was champ, Wilder. These guys think that because they're big commercial brands, they no longer have to honor the obligations of being a champion, right? Ironically, AJ, who was the biggest brand, right? The dude's a fucking walking advertisement, right? A capitalist marketer's dream in terms of an athlete. This guy fought all his mandatories. Love him or hate him, he fought his mandatories. He gave mandatory challengers an opportunity, not only to make big money, but also to become champion themselves, including Oleksandr Usyk, who nobody was lining up to fight because everyone knew he was the real deal. But now Usyk is turning around and contributing to the rot that has tainted the sport in so many ways, especially here in the United States. That also has to do with the NFL, NBA, MLB, college sports. For all you people who say that there's another reason why there are no American heavyweights, it's very obvious why there are no American heavyweights. But again, another conversation for another video. Maybe I'll start touching on that a little bit later. But Oleksandr Usyk is a part of the rot now. He's a part of the rot. And to me, it just embodies everything that seems to be wrong with the Western world, where I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like wherever you go, companies, large entities, wealthy individuals, politicians, they're trying to see how they can get another dollar out of the common man, how they can screw over consumers and constituents even more, how they can get you to pay more and more and more and more while giving you less and less and less, right? We see it all over it, right? From the pay-per-views, if you want to watch a good fight, the pay-per-view is $50, even though I already pay a subscription fee, a monthly subscription that's overpriced to begin with. And with that subscription, I still have to watch ads. Even if I pay for the pay-per-view, I'm still inundated with ads, excuse me, right? So it's never enough. I need every cent. Even though I got this guy to already pay the exorbitant pay-per-view prices that we have to pay in the US, like you people in the UK, shut up with the whole, oh mate, I gotta pay 25 quid to watch this fight. That's utterly ridiculous. Dude, I wish pay-per-views were $30, right? Or whatever the exchange rate is, probably like around $30 US roughly. That would be a dream here, so cry me a river with that. But still, if you pay a pay-per-view, why do I have to watch a bunch of ads for gambling over and over and over? No, I want to hear the coach giving instructions in between the rounds. That's one of the best parts, right? That adds to the drama of the show. We want to see the coach give a fighter a slap, or we want to see the cut man try and fix a bad cut by putting Vaseline on it and trying to seal it so the guy can continue and he doesn't get stopped. That's a part of the show. But it's like no matter what, they'll figure out a way to try and screw you over and see what they can get away with to get another cent out of you. You see it if you want to order some fucking food, right? I live in DC. Traffic's crazy. Sometimes you don't want to drive. You order food. If you don't give a tip of like $15 to a driver, your food's just going to sit there in the restaurant and get cold until DoorDash will finally get the algorithm to pay the driver a little bit more money so he'll be incentivized to take it. Even though they already took the money out of my fucking bank account, now it's on me to cover their driver's fucking wages because they don't want to do it, right? Everywhere it just seems like the World Cup, right? The sport of the poor, the most popular sport in the world, right? I'm not a huge, for the sake of this video, I'll say football for my UK fans. I'm not a huge football fan, right? It's boring. I played it once when I was a kid. I actually played it in baseball cleats because my mom wasn't buying another pair of cleats, you know? So I'm not a huge football fan, but that's a sport that billions of people around the world love. Most of the players in that sport came from humble backgrounds, right? Playing in a dusty favela in Sao Paulo or something like that, right? Or in the banlieue in France, outside of Paris. So the idea that the cheapest tickets are $2,000, which excludes 99% of people all over the world, is crazy. It's all about how can we protect our interest while seeing how much the hoi polloi of society will tolerate. I don't know. And just this whole fight card, the way Usyk's conducting himself, the way a lot of these fighters conduct themselves. I'm only going to get in the ring if I get $30 million. Like you don't already have millions. It's never enough. When is it enough for you people that you'll just look after the fans? Right? Now we got this stupid ass war and this stupid ass naval blockade driving up the prices of everything from gas to eggs. If you want to buy some furniture for your apartment, it costs $1,001,001. If you want to buy any sort of basic staple just to try and make your life a little bit more comfortable, everything seems to be exorbitant. It seems like as soon as you get paid, all your money goes out the window, right? So while Wall Street is raking in billions in profits, right? You just read the newspaper, they're making more money off this crisis than ever. Trading is up for all the major Wall Street banks. JP Morgan, Chase, Citi, Goldman Sachs, while we're over here getting screwed. And we see that now with every single major corporate entity, including sports broadcasters like DAZN, right? It won't be long before Netflix starts throwing in the pay-per-view. They're just trying to reel us in. Don't get used to it, guys. They're trying to reel us in. They're trying to reel us in. And it just pisses me off, dude. I want to enjoy the sport. People have a right to leisure and distractions, and they should be able to enjoy the things they love without their bank accounts being totally savaged by elites who already have more than they'll ever need. But I've ran it long enough. Let me not go crazy before my mother hits me up for cursing too much on the videos, because she says I do already. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's free. I won't charge you for it. I promise you. Peace.